Lions. Welcome to Richard Recommends Week 4 of the 2013 season. Here are our recommendations.
Well, the first game of the week, Richard, is the Seattle Seahawks at the Houston Texans. Personally, I like Seattle to win this game. I think Houston is going to have a lot of trouble moving the football on the ground, which is their bread and butter. Andre Johnson's got a concussion. I see them having a lot of problems scoring points. I see Marshawn Lynch having a good day. I like the Seahawks to cover the spread and potentially winning this game handily, even though it's on the road.
But Seattle's the best team in the NFL. They are good offense, they're good defense. Marshawn Lynch will run all over Houston's defense. Like Ben Tate, Aaron Foster, they have trouble against that Seattle front seven. They're just wicked nasty, and if you have to throw a pass, forget about it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think this is going to be a very long day for the Texans, and the fans are going to go home very unhappy. The next game on the list is the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. This is in Detroit. I like the Bears in this game. I think it will be close, but I think the Bears will cover the spread. I think the Lions are going to have a lot of trouble stopping Brandon Marshall and the passing game in general for the Bears. I still think Matt Forte will have a good day as well, even though Detroit has a good front seven. I think in the end, the Bears' defense, with their ability to cause turnovers, is going to provide a lot of problems for the Lions. I say it'll be still somewhat of a close game, but I like the Bears to cover the spread.
I think Lions will put up a couple of touchdowns, but the Bears, their offense is better. They have a much better defense than the Lions. I like the Bears on the roll on this one.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely. The next game on the list is the Philadelphia Eagles visiting Denver to play the Broncos. Philly in their offense, yes, they are going to be playing in the high altitude. I still think they'll cause the problems for the Broncos. I think Philly will cover, and I think it'll be the old backdoor cover late touchdown to make it stay within the 11 points. Broncos will still win, go to 4-0. But I think the Eagles will still cover the spread. They can still move the football. The Eagles' main problem is obviously their defense just is not very good.
The Eagles' defense is terrible, all over the place.
I agree.
Manning has so many receivers to throw to. They also can hand the ball off. They'll win by at least 2 touchdowns, in my opinion. It's up a mile high. If that frantic offense will slow them down eventually, this is not playing sea level. They're playing up a mile high, and that fans are going to go nuts if they turn the ball over, which I think they'll happen a few times. I think Denver wins handily.
Yeah, I still think they win, but I disagree. I think Philadelphia will definitely cover the spread. The next game is a Sunday night game on NBC. That would be the New England Patriots at the Atlanta Falcons. I like the Patriots to cover the spread, and quite honestly, I like them to win the game for the simple reason that Falcons are very banged up. Steven Jackson has already been ruled out. Both Julio Jones and Roddy White are both injured, though they're playing. I think the Patriots can score a lot, can get a decent amount of points, even with their receivers. Still unknown about Rob Gronkowski and Danny Amendola at this point. I still like the Patriots to cover the spread and win the game outright.
The Patriots are very secretive on their injury report, which is very tough to decipher, especially on Sunday night. Like Atlanta's at home, though Matt Ryan's very good at home. That's one thing. He still has Tony Gonzalez to throw to. I think they'll put up a couple of touchdowns, and I have them beating the Pats, actually.
Yeah, I would disagree only in the sense that Atlanta's offensive line was not good to begin with. It's banged up as well. I think the Patriots may be able to sack Matt Ryan several times in this game, so that's why I'm going to take the Patriots. And they'll probably cause a couple of turnovers, which will hurt the Falcons as well. And finally, on Monday, the Miami Dolphins are visiting the Superdome to play the New Orleans Saints. I like the Saints in this game. Yes, their offense, I think, will still score their 30 points. The defense seems to be improved. I'm still not sold on Ryan Tannehill. I know some people say, hey, he's having a good start. They haven't played a really good defense yet, so I still question Tannehill. Cameron Wake is hurt for Miami, though he's playing. He may play. He's not going to be 100%. I think that's going to give Breeze enough time in the pocket, and I believe he's going to have a good day, and I see the Saints winning this game and covering the spread.
I like the Saints, too, at home against the Dolphins. The Miami's running game is struggling right now, and they're playing a blitzing Saints defense. So, although Miami will score a few touchdowns, I think the Saints are just too well balanced in the passing game. have at least sprawls in the backfield, which will also cause havoc. That's one thing. I think Saints will win in a high-scoring game. They'll cover the spread.
I would agree with that, definitely. Coming up next, we will have the rest of our games for Week 4, and including the Toilet Bowl selection of the week.
And now we're back.
And welcome to the Toilet Bowl Game of the Week. Where the Toilet Bowl game we have for this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the Minnesota Vikings, and lucky for those fans in London, England, this is the game they get for this week. So I'm going to have to go with Pittsburgh. Quite honestly, I wouldn't touch the game, to be honest with you, but if you had a gun to your head, quite honestly, I got to go with the Steelers. Matt Castle is going to be the quarterback for Minnesota this week. Christian Pond is hurt. I think it doesn't matter either way. Though Pittsburgh is terrible, Minnesota might be worse right now. I got to go with the Steelers as they are the favorite slightly. But I'll go with the Steelers.
I think the Steelers too will win. It's a home game. Actually, it's a home game for the Vikings, but the Steelers fans travel extremely well. And Adrian Peterson is playing on a grass field in London, which can't have unpredictable weather. I think Steelers are pretty banged up, and I think Vikings win a close one.
The next game on the list is the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I don't think Buffalo's offense is going to have a major problem with the Ravens' defense, and I'm just going to go with that's why I take Baltimore.
So Ravens' defense is much improved. They are coming off a huge win over the Texans, but I think Buffalo's been playing pretty good lately. I mean, they're coming off a loss to the Jets, where I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to cover the spread.
The next game is the Battle of Ohio. The Cincinnati Bengals visit the Cleveland Browns. Quite honestly, Cincinnati's banged up. Their defensive backfield is hurt. Brian Hoyer was able to do well, but I still think Cincinnati's better, and I'm going to go with the Bengals as the favorite. And I'd say give up the points.
I think the Bengals too will cover. They'll beat the Browns in Cleveland. I think the running game will be the difference for them, and plus the Bengals have AJ Green. That's a huge one. I know Hayden's going to cover him, but I think the Bengals still win.
The next game is probably the one team is overmatched on the other. It's Indianapolis against Jacksonville. The game's being played in Jacksonville. I'm going to go a little off the board here and say I'm going to say Jacksonville covers. This is, I think, going to be one of those backdoor covers. Indianapolis will have the game in hand, and Jacksonville will get a late garbage touchdown to stay within the 8.5 points. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville in this one.
The reason why Indy got Trent Richardson, they need to pound the ball when the game is on the line. They're just going to run the clock a lot. A very physical team. Andrew Luck's going to have a huge day. I think Indy wins big.
The next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with Arizona. I think Tampa Bay is in complete and utter disarray. Arizona can move the football better than Tampa Bay can. I just think, even though the game's in Tampa, I like the Cardinals to beat the Bucs in this one. I'd say definitely give up the points, or actually take the points and go with Arizona.
So Arizona's playing in the East Coast at 1 p.m. I still think Doug Martin's going to have his yards. I like Tampa this one. It's going to be a low-scoring defensive struggle.
The next game is the 0-3 New York Giants playing the 3-0 Kansas City Chiefs. This is potentially, some might say, another mismatch. I think it'll be a little closer, but I still think the Chiefs will beat the Giants. The Giants can't protect Eli Manning, and I think that's going to be a major problem for the Giants. I'd say Kansas City wins probably by 10 points. The game's at Arrowhead. Giants are going to go to 0-4, I believe, in this one.
I agree with that too. Kansas City's going to win big in this one, probably by 2 scores. Giants' O-line is banged up. Their defense is terrible. Chiefs win.
The New York Jets visit Tennessee to play the Tennessee Titans. I don't like Tennessee in this one. Their defense is very good. I believe that Geno Smith is going to have a lot of problems. I'm going to go with the Titans. It's going to be probably not a high-scoring game here either, but I think they win something like 17-10. The game's in Tennessee. I'm going to have to go with the Titans.
I don't like this game too much, even though both teams are 2-1. But Jets are a pretty fluky 2-1 team right there. They beat two pretty bad teams, and Tennessee is their toughest opponent since the Patriots. And the Titans have better receivers than the Patriots in week 2. But I like the Jets to cover. It's going to be more of a 16-13 game with a field goal, or last-second field goal.
Okay. Yeah, it could be that. I still like Tennessee. The next game is the Dallas Cowboys going to San Diego to play the Chargers. This to me is a tough game to go either way. I'm going to go with Dallas. I think they can run the football. They can do things a little bit better than San Diego. I think Dallas's defense will give Phillips Rivers some trouble, even though the game's in San Diego. I like the Cowboys. I think they'll beat them. Again, this could be another 3-4 point game, but I think the Cowboys cover and win the game outright.
Well, last week, San Diego lost a tough one to Tennessee. They were up in the fourth quarter and they gave up the lead. Back at home against the Cowboys, who are coming off a huge win over the Rams. I think Tony Romo is not a great quarterback on the road, but still think Romo's going to throw for a couple of touchdowns and they'll beat the Chargers handily.
And the final game of our picks is the Washington Redskins going to Oakland to play the Raiders. This too was another tough game. Could have qualified for the Toilet Bowl as well, but I don't know. I think Washington will finally get off the mark and they'll win this game. Again, that's probably like 27-20. So I like the Redskins minus the points.
My only problem is RG3 is playing in a baseball stadium. The A's are going to host a playoff game. They're still going to have that stinking baseball field with all dirt. It's going to be trouble for them in the running game. I like the Raiders in this one.
Okay, and that is our picks for the week. Please join us next week for when we review week 5.
So thank you for joining us at Richard Recommends. I recommend not to drink and drive.
And I recommend NBC's The Blacklist. James Spader is back on TV and this one he does a great job.